Good morning, Flosstube. Happy New Year. It is January 8th, 2026, and you have stumbled upon my channel, and I am doing a WIP parade. My name is Cheryl. My handle is Stitchy Cheryl. In case you're new, I haven't put out that many, so most people are probably new. I am a stitcher since I was about 8 years old. My mom taught me how to stitch 100 years ago. My first stitch was actually a pillow that I made for her. I designed myself with a neighbor when I was 10, and still in my dad's house, and I'm going to grab it the next time I visit him so I can show it off on my channel on a regular video. Anyways, I live in Southern California with my husband, who I've been married to for 33 years. Shocking. We have 2 kids, a son who is 31 and a daughter who is 28. She is recently married and is expecting my first grandchild in June, a little boy. So that's exciting. So like I said, this is just a WIP parade. I'll do my normal video probably next week, but for today, just a WIP parade. I would recommend getting some coffee or water or beverage of your choice and something to stitch. I have 86 WIPs. For the most part, I don't know when I started them. I can take an educated guess, but I wasn't keeping track until this year. And so, I don't know. I did my best to get the fabric name. If I have an exciting bag, I will show it and let you know who stitched it for me. 99% of my bags are Amazon cheap ones, but it is my goal this year to learn how to make them so I can have pretty bags too. So I'll just jump in. This is Halloween Alphabet by Primrose Stitches, or Primrose Cottage, and I guess I should say these are in no order at all. These are literally how I grabbed them. So yeah, this one is stitched on a 32 count Lugana. I believe it's by Bestitch Me, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not sure of what the fabric name is. I'm using all of the called for floss. It's a combination of Weeks and Classic Colorworks. Again, this is the pattern. I've categorized them as small, medium, large, and thank you, Helen D, yikes categories. I would put this in a medium. For me, a small is something I know I can finish this year, and it is my goal to finish it this year. A medium is something that I might be able to finish. A large is, let's just get a few strands in and set a realistic goal for getting it done. And a yikes is, girl, just do whatever you can. So those are kind of my categories. Like I said, that one is a medium, but I do think I could finish it this year. We'll see. I did start that last year around Halloween. Next is my Valentine's Day Quaker, also by Primrose. This is a small, and my goal is to finish it and fully finish it in time for Valentine's Day. This is being stitched on 32 count Blush Lugana with the called for ripe melon. Easy for me to say, right? Ripe melon from Classic Colorworks. If you've watched my first 2 videos, you know I love hearts and I love pink. So this really speaks to everything in my love of cross stitch and life. So like I said, it is my goal to have this done and fully finished so I can put it up in my house for Valentine's Day. Also, 90% of my WIPs are on 16 count Ada or 32 count Lugana, and I do those 2/2. I'll try to remember to say if I did like 1/2 or something, but for the large part, it is a 2/2 floss. And you'll note that by and large, I use the called for threads. I'm not really comfortable in changing my thread colors, so I don't know. I have a little bit. But anyways, moving on. This is Gratitude by Lizzie Kate. One thing you'll see is I love all things positivity. Makes me happy to have positive things around my house. It just, I love it. It's kind of I try to live my life this way. Yeah, we have, you know, we all have issues, right? No one has a perfect life, but really how you feel about it is how you frame it in your world. So, you know, if you're grateful for what you have enough. You know, and most problems will resolve in their own time. That's kind of how I try to live my life. So I believe this is a picture of this plus 16 count Aida. I don't know the dyer. And this is a called for floss. Next up is It's Coffee Time by Ink Circles. This came out of market, I think, in 2024, and it was immediate buy and start for me. I love coffee. Like, yeah, coffee is life. As a matter of fact, I have to have a test tomorrow, and I can't have caffeine, and I don't even know how I'm going to survive it. Yeah, so, you know, send me some good karma for no caffeine tomorrow until after 1:15. This is on 32 count Lagana. It is a Fortnite fabric, and it is called Mind Blowing. And I don't think they make fabric anymore. But yeah, that's my start. All the called for floss. I think it's super cute. It's gonna get done. This is a small. It's gonna get done this year. Oh, the Gratitude is gonna get done also. Okay, next up, my friend Shelly, who is It's Only Stitching here on YouTube and Key X Stitch on Instagram. If you haven't checked out her channel, go do so. She gifted me the Luminous Fiber Arts, I don't know what it was, a stitchy box last year for my birthday. So this was one of the charts from it. Needle and Thread and Pins is the title. Oh, sorry. See, I tried to make it really nice and put sticky notes so I didn't have to open up zippers and whatever. This is obviously stitched on the call for floss because it was all kitted up. This is 32 count Lagana in the colorway Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim, and that is not coming anywhere close to the right color, so whatever. It's a pretty popular color, so I would imagine that most of you know it. In the same kit is S is for Stitch. That is, I plan to do it right after I finish this one, and I call this a medium one. I'd like to finish it. We'll see. I quit because I didn't like the red, but I'm also not interested in restarting it, so it just needs a little work. The next one is I Like Cross Stitch by Jet X Stitch. I was in Colorado Cross Stitcher in October, and I hadn't seen this one before, and it called to me, and it was immediate buy, immediate start, all the things. So this is on 32 count Apricot Lugana, all the called for DMC. It does call for one Threadworks, and I have that. I believe I bought this as a kit from Lindy Stitches. And prepare yourself. This is a giant start. I hope you're all sitting down. Don't take a drink. I don't want you to spit it out at how big this is. That's right. That's right. Oh, I'm so proud of that start. But it is a start, so I can get working on it. Like, I can call it a start. Start's a start. Anything works. Next up is More Any Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. And I believe this is the one that she donated all of the proceeds to charity, and I'm pretty sure that's why I picked it. I really loved it. So, I mean, I love all the tiny towns, as you will see, and this one has a hanging thread. Actually, well, no, I'm just going to say it has a hanging thread. Sorry about that. I thought I caught them all. So this is my start, and I do most of my starts in the upper left. So you'll see this one says pizza, or the chart says pizza. I personalized it to pans. Can you see after that? Okay. I grew up in Fort Collins, Colorado. I lived there until I graduated from college. And so I'm going to do this as the places I loved in my life, in my growing up, in my childhood. So the pizza place is going to be Panhandler's Pizza. That's where we hung out a lot in high school, that was like a big hangout. This is going to be the Abbey Theater, or the Fox Theater, excuse me. In summertime at school, we could buy a pack of tickets for a movie every Wednesday afternoon. It came with like the movie and popcorn and whatever, and my parents were thrilled to get rid of us. I'm going to make, now I don't remember. I'm converting the toy store is going to be Fort Ram. Which is a bar that we used to go to. We actually, when as teenagers, they had minor nights. So I started in high school there, and then I went to the real nights when I was of age. And so that's that. The church is just going to be a church, and this is going to be Steele's Market, which is, it was a local market that my mom always loved. They had butchers, and they were always friendly. And I think we got a cookie when we went there, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so I'm excited to finish that one. I'm going to try to finish it this year. It is a goal to finish it this year. I also forgot to say that I am not sharing any Christmas, and I'm not sharing anything that I have shown as a WIP in a prior video, because why bother? I haven't worked on them for the most part. If I have worked on them, you'll see them in the next video. And I forgot to say that Any Tiny Town was stitched on Amber Waves by Atomic Ranch, which is a really nice fabric. My light's terrible, so you can't see fabrics, but whatever. I'm trying. Next up is Hands-On Design Block Party. And Block Party Java. And this was in my stash for a really long time. And then I went to a retreat last year, or the year before, I don't remember when, and somebody had put a partially kitted kit on the table. I guess they decided they weren't going to do it. Anyways, I picked it up, and I've just been working off of that. So I don't know the pattern, or the floss. I think the floss is called for. I'm not sure about the, I don't know what the fabric is, but it is a 32 count Lagana. Might be a 28, whatever. Next up is Madeline Delst. And I was at the attic this summer, I guess it was September, for a retreat. It was actually the Mrs. Flossie retreat, and I saw this as a model, and the model was done in the bright colors. There's the last one. And as you will see, I love everything bright. The brighter, the better. The pinker, the better. I love it. So I did this in the called for bright palette, and this is done on a 32 count Spacious Skies by Color and Cotton. I really love Color and Cotton fabric. I was in their Fabric of the Month club for a really long time, so I have a lot of their fabric. It just is beautiful. I love stitching on this. I started it. I went away with a friend, actually Shelly, to a mock. We just had a girls' getaway. We needed it, and so we stitched a lot. I started it then, and I loved it so much. So I think we're going to do another getaway. So if we do, my plan is to bring that and work on it again. Okay, this last one has a bad word in it. I'm not going to say it out loud. It's just warning you. Content warning. This is Happily Ever After by Rebel Stitcher. And I love it so much because as a woman, we're always saying yes. And we care a lot about everything. And I just got to the point, I guess when it was about the time I turned 55, I just couldn't do it anymore. So anyways, this kind of summed up my attitude at the time. I have just a tiny start on it, but I am stitching it on 32 count Lagana Be Stitch Me. I don't remember the, I don't think I knew the fabric name. I think it is Lugana, with the called for fancy floss, which includes, it's Classic Colorworks and 1 DMC. So this one I want to get back to. I really enjoy this one. I'm going to say that a lot. I should just not say that. Let's just go with the assumed. I want to get back to all of them, and I love all of them because I did UFO several projects that I just didn't love anymore that I had started when I was first back into stitching, and just my tastes changed over time. Okay, next up is Rose of Sharon by Carolyn Manning. And I picked this one when I first came back to stitching because my mom's name was Sharon, and she was a landscape architect. She gardened for fun, and when I tell you she gardened for fun, like, we used to tell her if she was in a bad mood, she needed to go dig in the dirt. And she was also a quilter. So all of these things just screamed my mom. It's our colors. She was more blue than pink, but she did the pink for me. And so I'm doing this for her. And that's my start, which doesn't look like a lot, but that's a lot of stitching. So this falls in the yikes category, and I'm going to stitch on it when I can. This is stitched on 32 count Lagana, just antique white, with all the called for DMC. And this one is in a bag that my friend Shelly made for me. When I first came back to stitching, I was using all Ziploc bags, and I kept asking her, where did you get these bags? Like, she would come to stitch and I'd be like, where did you get those bags? And so one day she brought me over like 16 bags, which was super sweet. And what a way to welcome me back to cross stitching. I guess I should say I did take a break. Like, I cross stitched on and off throughout the years. And I did, I wasn't that much into it, but when COVID hit, that's when I got back into it big time, as did so many of us. Okay, so next up, the Blue Flower, Hedgehog and Hyacinth. And I think this was 2 years ago in market. And again, this was one that, for whatever reason, it spoke to me, and I needed it, and I needed it now, and I needed it to start right away. So this is my start. This is on 32 count Sea Spray by Seraphim, and it's coming off much brighter blue than it is in real life. That's a little bit more true to color, I guess. I'm using the called for threads, which include 3 cottage garden threads. I think I bought the kit from, I bought the pattern and the kit from Lindy Stitches when it came out of market, because I have no self-control. Up next is Fox and Rabbit Lady Queen. I mentioned I have a daughter, and she is my ladybug. I've called her Ladybug since the day she was born. So I was at the attic this summer, like I said, and I saw this pattern. It was stitched up, and I had to have it. Like, it was not even, it was nothing. I had to do it. I also bought the fabric there. This is 32 count Lagana Splash with pink dots. Wow, my light is really bad today. Anyways, it's adorable. And this is a small. I'm getting this done this year. And I'm actually, if I could get it done by April for her birthday, I would love to do that and give it to her before the baby's born, because as anybody who's a mother knows, once the baby comes, you kind of tend to not exist. So I'd like to get it to her before I, fall in love with the baby and don't want to deal with her. Not really. Next up is Rocky Mountain Quaker by From the Heart Needle Art. This, I don't know where I saw it. I saw it on a Flosstube, and like I said, I grew up in Fort Collins, Colorado, and it just reminded me of where we used to go at Horsetooth Mountain. We used to go there as kids, as my parents would take us there. Like, it brought back up just a ton of memories. So I have a little start in it. It's probably a medium, maybe a small. I don't know. This one's going to get some work soon. Next up, I said I wasn't doing any Christmas, but this is a new start since I've done my last floss tube, so I went ahead and included it. This is Jolly by Running with Needles and Scissors. Yeah. And if you watch Colorado Cross Stitcher, you'll see that she stitched this all as one rather than as the buttons, and that's how I loved it. So when I was at Colorado Cross Stitcher in October, I picked up the pattern and I'm stitching it exactly like Sherry did. And this is my start. I started this Valentine's Eve, Christmas Eve. Got a pretty good start, if I do say so myself. And I am stitching this on 32 count, 18 count vellum by Picture This Plus, and I'm stitching it in Gentle Arts Buckeye Scarlet. And I love that one. Probably a small, but probably not going to be taken out anytime super soon. I don't know. We'll see. Teresa Kogut, Remember Me. I don't know. I love the border. I love the sentiment. Like, maybe my kids won't throw this one away when I go. Who knows? This is stitched on 18 count silver moon, 1/1, or 1/2. One thread over two things. No, 1/1. It's 18 count Aida. 1/1. Sorry. Anyways, and I'm using all the called for colors, and that is my start. Like I said, I do start in the upper left usually, so it's a start right here, right around this area. Oh, it's going this way. Huh. These big starts, I don't know how you're supposed to tell. So there you go. That's a large. That's not going to get finished this year. I would be surprised. Next up, this is a focus piece for me because, as I mentioned, this is my daughter is due with a baby boy in June, and so this is being made for him. This is called Sweetie Pie ABCs, I believe. And I'm sorry, it's just so cute. And I like that the letters are not your typical things. Like, some of them are not what you usually see. So I liked that. I started it on 16 count color and cotton, and I can't remember the name of it. It is like a mint green. And I'm using all the called for DMC unless I don't have it, and then I'm just grabbing from stash. So this is a total stash kit. I'm just grabbing whatever. It's kind of cool the way that she writes it out. She has blocked it into pages. Like, that was a page finish, so those were those three. So I can grab all the DMC for that one, stitch it up, and then grab onto the next page. So this one I want done by her baby shower, which is probably going to be in March or April. So yeah, I got to get on that. That is a priority for the near future. Next up is Let's Do Coffee by Imaginating. Like I said, coffee, 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 coffee. This one I have just the smallest of starts on. I am stitching it on an unknown, picture this plus 16 count Aida with the color Love by Weeks Dye Works. I liked the variegation that I could achieve without having to work too hard for it. And then the steam in the coffee is done in, or no, it's the beans that are done in Havana by Weeks. I don't love it, I'm not gonna lie. This was when I was pretty new into stitching, and I don't know, I don't like back stitch, it's just so boring. But my dad gave it to me, I kind of want to finish it. I mentioned in the last video that I like to reinforce when my dad buys me cross stitch that, like, yes, this is what I like, please, please, please. So I would like to finish it and show it to him, but I don't know that that's going to happen anytime soon. This is Strawberry Biscornu by Erin Elizabeth. This was a birthday gift for me from Shelly, my friend that I mentioned earlier. And she also gifted me the 32 count Slate Lugana from Fiber on a Whim, and all of the called for DMCs. So I managed to, I started it right away, like she gave it to me, and I opened it up and started it. So I did get one little strawberry done, not a whole lot, but this is also not a whole lot of stitching. So hopefully I'll get back to that this year, maybe get a finish on that. Up next is the Tulip Mandala by Glendon Place. And my mom always had tulips in the spring when we lived in Colorado, and for me it was just like, okay, now spring can start. I mean, sometimes we had tulips and snow, I'm not gonna lie, but it was to me the beginning of spring. Tulips always make me think of my mom. Tulips and roses, those are the two things that make me think of my mom. So I'm doing this because I like tulips, and I also loved my mom. Well, I still do, she's just not here to love on anymore. So this is my start. It's this part right here. I'm using the called for silks. This is going to crinkle, and I apologize, I'll do it fast. They're so gorgeous. I bought the kit for this at a retreat I was at 2 years ago. It was the Disney retreat for the Southern California Stitching Group. And I'd never stitched in Dinky Dyes, but man, I love them. Here are all the colors. This is gorgeous. It's got beads. Here's some more colors. There's some Sullivans. If you watch Joy from Carolina Stitchers or Missy from Two Needles Pulling Thread, they have a stitch along. I can't remember what the stitch along name is, but it's always have a Glendon Place going. So I'm silently joining you guys in that. And I love that. And that's a yikes, but I do plan on putting some stitches in it sooner rather than later. Next up, Heartstring Samplery. You Make My Heart Happy. I'm stitching this. It was one of the very first ones that I stitched on when I came back in 2020. I absolutely love this. I want it in my bedroom. It is stitched on Picture This plus Heartland on Aida, 16 count Aida, with the called for DMC. At the time, I didn't really know about overdyes, so I figured, DMC is fine. It's a big house. I need to just, once I have the house done, the rest is going to go super fast. I would like to have this done this year. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe Valentine's Day next year. Who knows? Next up, this is a Barbara Anna stitch along for the seasons that I did. I started with Shelly in last year. I think it was close to my birthday, so maybe August. I don't have a picture, but it's gorgeous. It's from Barbara Anna, and it's one of it. They're just gorgeous. I started it with her. Like, Barbara Anna is not one of my go-to designers, but the called for flosses are so gorgeous. I can't stand it, how gorgeous they are. So I decided I had to start it. The fabric is 16 count French Latte Aida 16 count. I said that already. Anyways, when I show this with progress in my Flosstube, I will have a photo to share, but if you want to see it, drop me a comment. I'll be happy to put you into the link so you can see it for yourself. Okay, that was one shelf of 3. Go. All right, this one is Alaska Moose Stocking, and it was a kit that I picked up. I wasn't even really stitching. I was still really heavy into my knit phase, and my husband and I took an Alaskan cruise for our 25th wedding anniversary, and I thought, what a cute way to remember it. And so I thought, oh, I can whip that out really cute, really fast. And if you'll recall, I was married for 33 years last year, and this is how far I've gotten, because it's crunchy Aida and it's boring. That's 100% honest. It's full coverage, boring, boring, boring. I want to get it done for him, but maybe for our 35th. Maybe it's a 10-year project. I don't know. We'll see. Next up is Heartstring Samplery. She is one of my favorites, you will notice. An Ode to Libraries. I love this so much. I am a huge reader. I read 107 books last year, and I read. I don't do books on tape. I read with my eyes and my own imagination of what the people sound like. And I would say 75% of them came from my local library. I have gone to libraries my entire life, so when I saw this at market, I had to stitch it. So what was fun about this is that when I was at the Mrs. Flossie's retreat, and I lost them. Where did they go? Oh, there they are. I was sitting next to a new friend named Casey, and she was stitching on this, and I was kind of checking her out, and she was doing a conversion to flower colors, and I died when I saw that purple. And it's much brighter than the called for, and it screamed me more than the Prim. So I got her conversion. She was very sweet and offered me her conversion, no problem. I picked up most of the flosses from Colorado Cross Stitcher. I think there were 2 that she didn't have, and so for those 2, I'm using the called for, and I love it. This one is definitely going to get work in the near future. I love it so much. It is one of my favorites. And this lives in a bag that I bought from PepperPotShoppe on Etsy. If you watch Sarah's Stitchery Spot, it is her sister, and she makes the most beautiful bags. I've got several of them. I highly recommend. And heart. That's all I needed. Next up, this falls into the oh my god, yikes category. And I couldn't find a picture, but this is Disney's Heroes. And you can see I already have a Hercules. I've got Dumbo almost done. We are a huge Disney family. Huge. And like big enough that my daughter is deciding between Baby Mickey and Winnie the Pooh for her little boy's nursery. We have gone to Disneyland, I don't know, we went 3 times last year. I don't know. We're very big into Disney. Probably my son and my daughter more. Anyways, I started this because my idea is to stitch all of this, put it in a pillow, and then on the back side do all the villains. So she could tell her husband whether she was in a hero or villain's mood by which direction the pillow is. So it's not going to get done this year. I have no expectations of it. And now I'm thinking maybe it would be cute for the nursery at some point, but not anytime soon. This lives in a bag from Shelly. So cute with all the chili peppers. You'll also notice I don't worry about matching my bags to my projects. It's just not anything I'm highly concerned about. So I don't. Next up, I'm sorry for bending down. Next up is, I don't have a picture. This is from Hands On Design, Tom's Foolery. This is a stitch along with my friend Shelly. I have just a small stitch. This is on 20 Count Small Potatoes by Latin Loops. And it lives in this bee bag, which is also by PepperPotShoppe. So cute. She does a really nice job. She does a little cute tag on the zipper. I feel like I'm a commercial for her right now. Little lining. It's very cute. So this one's going to get more love. It's not going to get finished this year, but what I would like to do is like maybe put a floss in a week or something like that, and it would go much faster. That's my only hands across the sea project. Next up is, sorry, I made little piles so it would go fast and you guys wouldn't have to listen to zippers. Next up is 324. You've seen it, you love it. So many people started it, but there it is. I have so much done and I was trucking on it. I was doing a motif a day and loving every second of it. Then I had a mistake. Can't find the mistake. Couldn't find the mistake. Gave up. It went in timeout and I haven't picked it up since. So here's my start. So you can see I'm so close. I think I have 3 pages done. So this is going to be a focus piece because I really like it. I think it's just so cool. So I'm going to focus on it this year. I've heard a lot of Flosstubers say like a floss a day or 100 stitches a day, and I might do that for this one. We'll see. I'm not really good at plans. So that's on 32 Count Antique Lugana. Next up, I lost my start. Oh, here it is. Okay. Try to be neat, and what does it get me? Next up is the floral motif sampler from the Scarlet House. I saw somebody doing this on Flosstube. I was immediately enabled, immediate purchase. And then my friend Shelly had it, and so we started it together, I believe, on my birthday in 2024. I didn't get very far. I have one little sunflower motif done and just a smidge of the border. Elizabeth Ann can stitch needle minder. I want to give away from her once, and she sent that in with it. So I really like this. This is going to get love this year. How many times can I say that? I'm just curious. How many times can I say this is going to get love? Okay, Lizzie Kate. Wouldn't life be great? And again, the positivity. I mean, it's not, maybe not positivity, but I really like the saying. It says, wouldn't life be great if sweatpants were sexy, Mondays were fun, junk food was good for you, girls didn't cause so much drama, guys weren't so confusing, and saying goodbye only meant until tomorrow. I just think it's just a lovely little saying. And this is on an unknown piece of 32 count linen with the called for threads. And this is where I've gotten. I just think this would be so cute hanging in my house somewhere. I do plan on making a sampler wall in my guest room, so a lot of this is going to be put in there when it's done. This is Hello Summer by Primrose Cottage Stitchers. This was a free Friday pattern, and I'm almost done. I'm going to finish it. Hopefully, maybe not before my next floss tube, but the one after that, by February. That's my goal. We'll see if I make it. I'm so bad with plans. Anyways, I did buy the kit to stitch. I don't think I bought the finishing kit. So this is done on 28 count Berry Smoothie Lagana by Fabric Flair, and all the called for threads. And I didn't bother to even look for the picture on my email because it's almost done. I think there's a lemon here. Can't remember. Doesn't matter. Next up is Harvest Chockful by Hands On Design, and I believe this is artwork by Priscilla. Not 100% sure on that. However, I have all 4 of the seasons for this, everything except Easter. This is my start on it. It's just a 16 count chalkboard Ada, and I have all the overdyes, and I really like stitching on it. I think I just got startitis and started something else, is honestly what I think happened. This is another Shelly bag, and she gave me this little ram. What is it, scissor fob? No, zipper pull. Both my daughter and I and my dad all went to Colorado State, and sorry for the zipper. And so we're the Rammies. So that was for the Rams. Loved it. Okay, so this is Halloween Tiny Town on, okay, get ready for this, my sheet of fabric. This is 10 count Cafe Mocha. No, this is Country Mocha. I knew it was like a common one. And I saw on Instagram somebody did theirs huge and made it into a bench pillow, like one of those huge ones that you put on a bench. And we do have a bench right in front of our door, so I have a half yard of this because it is my intention to stitch all of the seasonal ones in the same manner and make them all into big pillows. It might be harder now that Joanne's isn't here to give me those big pillows, but I'm sure I can find it. I'd like to have that done for Halloween. This is another Shelly bag. Look at what she did for me for my birthday one year. She stitched up this Hands On Design chart and made it into the project bag for me. All in pink. I mean, look, total conversion to pinks and aqua and red, which one of my all-time favorite fabric or floss color combinations. Love it. One of my favorite bags. Next up is the Blue Flower Bumble Bear. Something about this little dude just spoke to me. I had to have it. Had to. I plan on having this done for Halloween this year. And I am stitching it on 16 count Unknown Ada. If I had to make a guess, I would guess Sea Spray by Witchold, but I don't know if that's correct. Not Witchold, by Seraphim, but I don't know if that's correct. All the called for colors, or excuse me, the DMCs, except I'm using the overdyed Weeks Watley Woodlands because I really liked the variegation in his little I love this. I want to finish it exactly like Janine did it. I just think it's just so adorable. Oh, and this is another Shelly bag. How cute, the little penguins. I did get the Colorado Cross Stitcher Advent box several times, and one year there was a zipper pull. And creating works of art one stitch at a time. Love it. Okay, next up is on an unknown piece of Lugana. I think it's Bestitch Me, but I don't know what color. This is by Ink Circles. I'm gonna guess it's Cirque de Cours. Cirque de Cours. Yeah. So if you look carefully, like everything in this makes a heart. I died. Cross-Stitch MD, is that her name? I don't remember. Anyways, she finished this and she posted her finish on Instagram. I died. I was like, oh, must stitch immediately. It's as far as I got. It is one of the more challenging ones I have stitched, and I did start it probably before I was a really confident cross stitcher. Not that I am now, but maybe I'm less caring. I'm stitching this on Silks for You. This is the color. I have no idea what the color actually is, but I also like mangled the hank because I didn't know how to do it. So I'm just going to admit, like, don't look at the silks. They're just mangled, but I love stitching on that. Okay, I think that is it for that pile. Sorry for the reach again. I only have to do that one more time. Okay, next, Pour Favor by Silver Creek Samplers. My daughter gave this to me for Christmas 2021. When you see this, you're going to wonder why it's not done, because that's what I did. This is a done before the end of January. That's my goal. Yep, I just have to finish up the wine glass and the little grape leaf at the bottom. Maybe the grape leaf at the top too. That's it. Come on. What is wrong with me? I guess there's also these little doodads. I probably won't do those. I don't even know if you can see them. I'm not going to do those. I don't care about the doodads. Yeah, I can't believe this isn't done. I'm going to finish that this year. That's all there is to it. Hopefully by February. This lives in another PepperPotShoppe bag. I love the seagulls. My brother worked for Pixar. Inside there's a little check. So cute. My brother worked for Pixar for many, many, many years. He was an animator. And one of my favorites is the mine scene in Nemo. I have a lot of seagull stuff because of that. And that's why I bought that bag, because it reminded me of that. It makes me happy to remember my brother. He no longer lives there. He runs an arcade in Bend. He owns the arcade called Vector Volcano. So if you're near Bend, Oregon, if you visit near Bend, Oregon, I think he charges, he might be up to $10 an hour. All retro games from the 80s. He's got so many of them. It's crazy. He actually went to animation school to be a video game designer. Side note, I'm off on down a squirrel hole. Anyways, it's the arcade is called Vector Volcano in Bend, Oregon. If you are around, go. So much fun, especially for those of us of a certain age who remember the games. Next up is Ink Circles Arranging Vegetables. My daughter gave me this at the same time she gave me Pour Favor. I'm not sure what this is stitched on. 32 count Lugana with the called for DMC. I want to get that done. How many times we should play a game when we watch WIP parades, like a drinking game or a stitching game or something, where every time somebody says, oh, that's so pretty, or oh, I want to get back to it, we should take a drink, stitch 50 stitches, something like that. Would be hilarious. Okay, I'm starting that. We should do that. That would be so much fun. This lives in a Shelly bag that Sorry, covering up the pattern. So pretty. I think that would be a fun game. Why hasn't anybody thought of that? They probably haven't, I don't know it. Next up is the Scarlet House entwined hearts. For obvious reasons, as you could tell, I needed to do this right away. This is how far I got. I started it as a stitch along with Shelly and Contented Needleworker Kim back in 2022, 21. 21 is when it came out, so my guess is 21. This is on an unknown red linen, and I don't like stitching on linen. So I think I'm going to restart this on a pink because I can. When I started this, I didn't know you could change colors like that. Like, I just thought you had to do it the way it is. So I think I'm going to do that. And I bet it'll get a lot more love on a fabric that I like. This is Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches. This is one of my favorite charts I've ever seen in my life. Oh my darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches too. And I think it's so beautiful. I love this bird. I'm not even a bird person, and I love that bird. And why this is just my piddly little start, I couldn't tell you. But that's it. I'm not even going to comment further. Okay, Cricut Collection. Cookies. I saw Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch do this one several years ago. It was I have to do it. It was a I have to start it, which I didn't. I just started it last year. And it has this piddly little start. And the reason it has this piddly little start is I'm using the called for colors, and you can't see the ecru at all. Like, you can see it better on camera than I can see it in real life. And when I'm looking at the pattern, like, it's filled in. So I don't know how much it matters that I can't see that. So I'm going to finish the C, see how I feel about it. If I don't like it, I'm going to restart it on a different color where the colors pop a little bit more. Like I said, that's on Color and Cotton Sea Glass. Sorry about that. Wow. Weird. 32 count Lagana. It's a Fabric of the Month color. All the called for DMC. Another Shelly bag, which I love so much. Bloom where you're planted is one of my mom's most famous sayings, and I'm sure Shelly didn't know it, and I love it so much. Okay, I am on my last pile. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Last little bit. Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. I'm stitching mine on 32 count Lugana by Fiber on a Whim, Cream and Sugar, with all the called for over dies. Made this quilt square. I started this pretty early on my return back to cross stitch, and that quilt square I had to do 4 times, and that's why it got put on timeout. I need to pull this one back out. Oh, again. Stitch 50 stitches. Okay. Home is where the wreath is. This was one of my, I love this so much. I still love it so much. My friend Shelly gave me the board to finish it on. I even know where in my house I'm going to put it. It just needs to get stitched. This is my start. And this would be a perfect piece for retreat or like mindless TV stitching or stitchy day, because really, I mean, I'm going to outline the H and then it's all fill in. And I can't see the black at night when I'm watching TV. I can't see the black at a retreat, and I can't see the black at our stitching day. So I think I'm going to have to make this a morning stitch. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So this is another bag by Shelly. Look at all the pink hearts. She's a very generous friend, if you haven't guessed already. She is a very generous friend. Very lucky that she's my friend. Okay, Erin Elizabeth Bee Farm. This was a stitch along with Cobweb Corner and Helen D here on Flosstube, and I just thought it was so cute. So I started this start along. I started it right with everybody else, and this is where I petered out for no reason other than other things were calling my name. I gave up on telling you medium and small WIPs and things like that. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Another bag by Shelly. Little bunnies. So cute. So cute. Okay. This project is on 16 count Picture This Plus Mirage. This is the Needleworker by Cottage Garden Threads. This was the first one in her Snowman series, and for obvious reasons, it called my name. Shelly gave it to me for Christmas the year it came out. I don't see, 2022. I started it right away on Christmas, and Christmas is a little busy around here. So I got one little finger hole for stitches, scissors done. So proud, so proud. Another, this is a bag by Tara, the 805 Stitcher. So cute. I bought it because I loved the inside fabric. Anyways, Tara is on Etsy, the 805 Stitcher. I also live in the 805, and I met Tara, and she is now part of our stitching group. Love her so much. She's so much fun. Highly recommend that you go back and watch her videos, although she said she hasn't done one in a year, so who knows. You could go back and look at her old ones. Okay, Plum Street, Friendship Garden. If I had a flower, let's see, if I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk in my garden forever. Doing this for my mom. I have a lot that I'm doing for my mom, as you can tell. As I said, she defined herself by her garden, by her roses. She not only did it as a career, it was just her love. So this is on a 36 count, my only 36 count piece on Vintage Homespun by R&R Fabric. And I really wanted to try R&R. I couldn't find any count lower than 36 when I was looking. So I did it, and I can do it. So look at me go. I think it's gorgeous. I'm doing all the called for over dyes. Love it. Okay, so this one, Shelly, you getting the feeling that Shelly and I are good friends? She gave me friend stitch 1 year for my birthday, and it happened to be the gratitude gathering, which could not be more perfect for me. So it was so appreciated. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So, and I loved, like, the whole thing was about being grateful for what you have and being grateful for your friends and your family. And it was just very lovely. So we got many patterns all kitted up for us. This was one of them. I don't know if it's available. I don't think that they released these. I'm not 100% sure, but this is Simple Comforts. And I have a hanging thread. My apologies, I couldn't find the needle to whip it up, so I didn't. So I really like this one. This is on 32 count beige linen with all of the classic Colorworks threads. This is a Como bag. Kathy at two needles pulling thread. You know, gotta have a Como bag. So I jumped on. I really liked all the cute little old sewing machines. Jess does a very nice job with her bags. I just never seem to get them because I'm never on a computer when they drop, and they're gone. I mean, they're gone. Okay, this is A Good Marriage. It's long. I won't read it to you, but Lizzie Kate, I started this because, like I said, my daughter got married, and this was supposed to be a gift for their wedding, which didn't get done because they asked me to make a ring bearer pillow. And so I stitched with this ring by the Housewives and made that. And between, you know, fielding 400 calls a day from her and stitching that and doing the other things that I needed to do for the wedding and working full time, yeah, this one didn't get done. I got a pretty good amount done. I would say half. And my thought was that I was going to give it to them for their anniversary in June, their first anniversary. But now the baby is due on their anniversary or like a day before. So I don't know. I don't know if that would be appreciated or if we're all going to be sucked into baby. And I really like that pattern, and I might just keep it and give it to my husband as an anniversary gift one year. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. So this one, heartstring samplery. Be kind always. Such a great saying. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle that you can't see. Be kind always. This is how I try to live my life. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you to the waitresses, the cashiers, the person who helps me at the grocery store, anybody that does something kind for me, I thank them. I try so hard. It's just such a mean world right now, and whatever kindness I can spread, I really do try. So this is stitched on 32 count vintage exemplar linen from Lakeside Linen. It's a beautiful fabric. I really dislike stitching on linen though. Sorry for I just didn't feel like cleaning that one up, so I didn't. And this is with all the called for overdyed floss. This is in a Shelly bag, I believe. Yeah, Shelly bag. When I said she was generous, I wasn't lying. Next up, we're almost done. Funky Chickens. I love this pattern. This was a start. I wish I could say finish. When it came out in market in 2024. And I am stitching this on the called for 28 count flax linen with the called for Cosmo flosses because I thought they were so bright and beautiful. And they are bright and beautiful. And I would like to have one of these done to put in my tiered tray for Easter or spring. I'm stitching this one. So this is what I'm working on right here. So that's the head. I guess if I turned it this way, yeah. That's how it would go. It looks like a super easy finish. Yeah, I really want to get one of these done. Said I wasn't going to say that anymore. This lives in an 805 bag from Tara, the 805 stitcher. I just thought it was so cool with all the pink, and then it's like, it fits this project perfectly, right? Doesn't this remind you of 70s? Yeah. And she even included a little needle minder. Thank you, Tara. Okay, we have just a few left. This one, Cardinal Points. Everybody has seen it, it appears. I'm very late on this bandwagon. This is a yikes for me. I do want to work on it this year though, because it's beautiful. So the story behind this is I was supposed to go to StitchCon the year that I started this, and I want to say 2023. I was supposed to go with my friend Shelly, and instead I ended up having to take care of my dad, who had to have emergency surgery. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and he was in a rehab for, I don't know, another 2 or 3 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, he did all this the week before StitchCon. So I lost my money, couldn't go, lost my airline ticket, everything. Shelly lost everything because she didn't go without me. Anyways, I had been saving my money because I wanted to shop at Keepsakes and at StitchCon at the pop-up. And so I got a little pissy, for lack of a better word, and said, I'm buying everything I want. So I bought this with all of the called for Gentle Arts, and that was my start. This one is 1/1 on 18 count Aida, and it's just, you know, white. It's not anything special. I love it. It's so delicate. I think I'm really gonna love this chart. Helen D finished hers. That's what inspired me. That's the first place I saw it, and I died, had to have it. And like I said, I was cranky and I bought it. Okay, Tiny Modernist, A Stitcher's Garden. And if you've watched my last video or two, I want to have a stitchy wall somewhere, either in here in my craft room / office, or in my
house somewhere. I don't know, but this will fit perfectly in my stitchy garden, or my stitchy area. This is stitched on Be Stitch Me 32 count linen 2/1. The linen is Through the Stones by Be Stitch Me. I'm using a combination of over-dyed floss and DMC. I think I just bought a few of the overdyes that I thought would actually show up, but mostly DMC. This lives in a bag that I bought when my dad and I went to San Antonio 2 years ago. And we went to, what is it called? A Golden Needle. Pretty sure that was the name of the store. That was in, I don't remember the name of the town. It's moved anyways. Now it's in New Braunfels, Texas. Anyways, somebody was selling bags and I loved this one. Loved it. I am a flip-flop girl. If I have shoes on, I'm not happy. I wear flip-flops or go barefoot or have socks. Unless I'm out in public and people will see me. Oh, funny, I'm wearing my StitchCon shirt. So it was 2022. Didn't go. Bought Cardinal points. Okay, so there are some things in this world that I love. Hearts, the color pink, The Wizard of Oz, I Love Lucy, Grease. Yeah, that's probably all of them. So when RATM came out with the Oz sampler, that was a no question I would buy. No question that I would buy the Called Fors. And here's my start. It is on, now what did I do with my thing? 32 count oak by Bestitch Me Opalescent, which there, you can kind of see the shimmery. I just felt like Oz needed to be shimmery with all the Called For DMC. And I don't love stitching on it. That's why it hasn't gotten further. I kind of lost it at the tornado. It was just a lot of counting. And yes, I realize the hobby is counting, but I don't like to count. It's hard. So I'll get back to that one. And this is made, okay, so my bag does match Wizard of Oz. Shelly made this for me. Love, 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 love. You can see how neat I keep my floss. Yeah, I'm so proud. Okay, 2 more. 1 more, last one. This is Hands-On Design, Let's Talk Autumn. I have all 4 seasons. I would like to have all 4 done. Not gonna happen with this measly little start on 32 count black Lagana with the Called For DMC. And that one isn't a holding pattern. I don't like stitching on the black Lagana. And I might restart this on a blue. No, an orange. I have a really pretty orange that I got in my Color and Cotton Club. And I might restart it on orange and then do the subsequent ones on like a color appropriate for the season. I think it's not getting love because I don't like stitching on it. So I'm going with Sarah Stitchery, who says if you don't love it, restart it because it's doing me no good sitting in the bag. So that's it. Whew, just an hour. I thought it would take a lot longer. I'm not gonna lie. I talked fast. I'm sorry. I do talk fast in real life. It is one of my things. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like what you saw, if we have something in common, I would love it if you would hit the like and subscribe. I am a pretty new channel trying to build my brand, build my little corner of the internet. And I would love it if you would join me on my little cross-stitch adventure. I love reading comments, so if we have anything in common, let me know. If you have any, did I enable you at all? Probably not. My patterns are pretty old. Like, I don't have a whole lot brand new. But, did I enable you on something? Tell me what you stitched. What do you think of my stitchy game? Every time we watch a WIP parade and somebody says, I got to get back to this, or I love this, or man, it's so pretty, or oh, it's so cute. Assigning a number of stitches to whatever you're working on. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Anyways, I will be back with a regular floss tube probably next week. In the meantime, I hope you're enjoying the new year. I hope all is well.
I hope your stitching needle is happy. I will say I did not show any of my brand new starts. I'm saving those for my regular floss tube. These are just my older WIPs. I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for joining. Off to your next WIP parade. Have a great day. Bye.